Hey, Andy here from buildahottub.com. In this video, we're going to talk about hot tub heating and efficiency. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so with the worldwide credit crunch firmly upon us, we're all looking for ways of economising the costs, certainly the running costs of our hot tubs. So in this video, I thought I would give you 5 tips on how you can reduce the actual running costs of your hot tub. And I'm going to give you a clue, it does not include switching out the electric heater for an air source heat pump. I've got lots of videos on air source heat pumps, but in this video I want to concentrate on much more economical ways of doing things, because obviously there is quite a big outlay for an air source heat pump. So before we get going, always a great opportunity for me to say please do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I do 2 long form videos just like this every single week, a whole bunch of shorts, and everything on this channel focuses on DIY hot tubs, plunge pools, hot tub parts, and pretty much everything in between. Okay, so tip number 1 is how you actually heat your hot tub. Now, again, I don't mean the physical way you heat it, whether you're heating it with gas or with propane or with electric or air source. I mean the way that you go about the scheduling, the way you're actually heating it for your usage. So, how do we get the most out of our hot tubs in terms of economising the way that we heat it? Well, firstly, when we're not using the hot tub, don't let it go cold. And what I mean is, don't just turn it down to pretty much 0 and just let the temperature fall out of the tub. This is probably the most inefficient way of actually running a hot tub. The best way, certainly I've found from my experience and feedback from customers as well, has been that if you hold your tub when you're not using it at a moderate temperature, so moderate being, it's warm-ish to touch, then it's much cheaper to take it from that up to a usable 39 Celsius or 102 Fahrenheit than it is to heat that up from cold. You use a lot less energy to maintain a temperature than you do to actually heat it up. So if you're holding it at a moderate temperature, then taking it up to the usable temperatures, you're going to save yourself some money in the running costs. The other thing to include on tip number 1 is, can you schedule the way that your hot tub heats? So if you have something like a Control My Spa, which is the Wi-Fi app for the Balboa BP systems, you're actually able to schedule when your hot tub heats. And this is important because a lot of you will be on cheaper energy during the night, so it might be a case of you can heat your hot tub to a higher temperature during the night. It will then hold that during the day, and if you do use it during the day, it's got less energy to draw to bring it up to that usable temperature. So if you are able to schedule, so if you have a BP app, or if you have some of the modern systems that have the touch keypads, the LCD controls, there are options in many of those, not in all of them, but in many of them, to actually schedule when your hot tubs heat. So that's definitely something to think about, especially if you're on a cheaper tariff during the nighttime. Tip number 2 is check your hot tub cover. This is probably the most important feature of your hot tub for economising the running costs of it. Most of your heat, as you would expect, is lost vertically. So if you have a cover that doesn't fit properly, that is old and it's full of water, then its insulation capabilities are going to be massively reduced. So it will be a really good idea to actually invest in a new cover, and in doing so, you will save yourself a lot of money on the actual heating and the running costs. So if your cover has got heavy over time, that means it's taken on water. Once they take on water, their insulation capabilities are greatly reduced, and obviously it's not going to keep as much heat in, so it's going to consume more energy to heat up and also maintain that heat, so it's going to cost you more. Now, covers, you can get them relatively cheap online. Even a cheap new cover is going to be better than an old cover that's heavy and full of water. So it's definitely worth spending that few $100 to get a new cover than it is trying to stick with the old one that you have on the tub. So that's tip number 2, is make sure that you have a cover that fits and is in, we'll call it working order, if a cover can be described in such a way. Tip number 3, you can actually add insulation into the cabinet of your hot tub. Now, if you've got an older tub, you may find that there's quite a lot of space underneath in the cabinet. Now, that space is obviously where air is going to be. Air is a great consumer, or we'll call it thief of heat. So if there's loads of air and loads of space in that cabinet, then it's going to be inefficient. So you can get spray foam in cans. You can pick that up at your local hardware store, and it's definitely worth filling the inside of that hot tub with as much foam as you can get in. Try not to get it all over the pump and the spa pack and the blower, because you may need access to those in the future, but certainly around the sides where the pipework runs, get as much of that in there. Again, we're looking at $10, $20, $30 worth of foam, and it will save you money on your running costs. So definitely something to think about. Tip number 4, now this really is about the position of your hot tub. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you change the location or the position, it's probably not possible. However, you can improve the location in terms of the thermal efficiency, if you like, of your hot tub. What do I mean? Well, if you are in a very drafty area, if the wind is very strong on your tub, then this is going to actually reduce the heat. It will whip it out of the cabinet, and again, it will cost you more to actually heat that tub. So what can you do? Well, you can put plants in, you can put a kind of a privacy vents or guard, something that's going to break up the airflow around your hot tub. If you can reduce the exposure to the wind and the elements, then you're actually going to save money. It doesn't sound like rocket science to me to do that. I'm sure many of you are doing this already, but I wanted to include that on this video because it does impact your running costs. If your hot tub is exposed to the wind and the elements, then it's going to cost you more to actually heat it. And finally, tip number 5 is a solar blanket. So what are these? Well, these are the heated blankets that you can have floating underneath your cover. They do add some R value. They don't add huge amounts of R value, but they definitely add some. They are relatively inexpensive in that they're less than $100 to do, and they will save you the money over time if you're using this in conjunction with a cover that fits and all of the other tips that I've covered on this video. Now, hopefully you will find this video useful. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, hit that notification icon, do subscribe. I'm going to get that in there once again, it just gives me loads of motivation to keep making these videos. And of course, if you are looking to build a DIY hot tub, can I help you? Please get in touch. Always happy to hear from you. Either hit me up in the comments or via buildahottub.com. And if you're looking for any parts or spares, you can check out my parts and spares website, which is partsfortubs.com as well. As always, I appreciate the view. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.